Galen Volm, would you please report to the judges' tower, please? Galen Volm, report to the judges' tower. One more time, that is Galen Volm, V-O-L-M, report to the judges' tower. Looks like Chuck Hall and Steve Mast on the front row, Dale Riddle and Darren Walker on row 2, Mike Hoover and Tom Long row 3, Mark Bergdorf and Terry Schlittman on that 4th row, and all by himself on the back row, Gary Wilson. And everybody heading into turn number 3. Here we go into turn 4, and we're off with Chuck Hall and Steve Mast on the front row. Steve Mast gets in the front. Chuck Hall in second. Here comes Darren Walker. Moving around turn number 4, it's Steve Mast, your leader. Mast, Walker, and Hall. Tom Long now pushing on Chuck Hall. Bergdorf and Riddle bumping side by side on the backstretch. Mast followed by Darren Walker, as well as Ralph Hall. Tom Long, Mark Bergdorf, Terry Schlittman rounding out the top 6. Mast hanging on to that lead. Darren Walker looking to go on the inside on turn 3. He does. Will he be able to get past Steve Mast? Not this time. Mast hangs on to that lead. Mast, Walker, Hall, and Long battling for the 3rd spot. Tom Long takes over the 3rd position. Now Mark Bergdorf's in 4th. Mast and Walker, 1 and 2, going into turn 3. Both getting a little bumpy. Mast hanging on. Tom Long now in 3rd all by himself. Mark Bergdorf trying to fight up and pick up some more positioning. Walker and Mast side by side of the backstretch. Mast with a front nose lead. Mast keeps in front of Darren Walker. Mast with a bigger lead on the backstretch this time. A little closer as they go into 3, but it's still Steve Mast, your leader. Walker trying to make a push coming out of turn 2. Mast Mast and Walker side by side, but turn number 2, it's Mike Hoover. Mike Hoover's down in turn number 2, and we'll have to get him restarted. Green, white, checker. And we'll be done with our first heat race. Here you go, it's Steve Mast, Darren Walker, Tom Long in the third spot. Mast, Walker, Tom Long, and Mark Bergdorf, the front 4. Walker cuts to the inside, and Walker and Mast side by side on the white flag lap, going into turn number 1. Here we go. Turn 2, Steve Mast gets back in front on the backstretch. Darren Walker loses his position and falls to second. He goes to the side, and it's going to be Steve Mast. Walker hangs on for second, and the rest of the bunch. Tom Long took third after that. Hard to tell, but Steve Mast picks up the win. And here comes Steve Mast out of Palmyra, picking up the win in our first heat race of the evening. His sponsors include Classic Signs and Steve Mast Motorsports. Got a smile for the camera. Get his picture taken. Picking up that first win of the night here at Quincy Raceways. Jeff Johnson on the pole for our second race. Jason Frankel outside on 1. Mike Dyke and Mark Holtmeyer rode 2. Ron Jackson and Ryan Fergie the next row. Jim Swank and Dick Crane, and then Terry Gallagher. Okay, 9 cars this time around, picking up a little speed around 3, going into 4, and they're going to get the green. Frankel and Johnson on the front row. Jason Frankel takes the lead and hangs on to it, coming around turn number 2. Jeff Johnson, Mark Holtmeyer is in third. Jason Frankel, your leader after 4. Mark Holtmeyer shoots around Jeff Johnson to take the second spot. Frankel, Holtmeyer, Johnson. Mike Dyke now slips up there. Mark Holtmeyer battling and getting a little closer each time around to the 33 of Frankel. Look at Dick Crane making his way up through the pack as well. Holtmeyer gets a little too high, and now he tries to shoot down low, but Frankel hangs on. Frankel, Holtmeyer, Johnson are your front 3. Ryan Fergie has gotten past Mike Dyke for the 4th spot. Now Fergie drops back from the front 3. Frankel, Holtmeyer, and Johnson. The front 3 staying the same. Ryan Fergie leading the rest of the pack. Here comes Mark Holtmeyer getting side by side. Falls back a bit. Frankel hangs on to the lead. Holtmeyer going to try the high side this time around. Good front, good run up front. between Frankel and Holtmeyer. Mark Holtmeyer trying to figure out which way to get around, but just not doing it. Hanging on to a tight second. Jeff Johnson continues to stay third, but Fergie and Crane are awfully close now. Holtmeyer now cuts to the inside. This might be his chance. They're side by side, and Jeff Johnson, who is running in third, parks it on number 2, and they're going to get the yellow flag. Heading around turn number 3, they're going to go ahead and get the green. Holtmeyer trying the inside this time. Now Fergie and Crane are up close to the front as well. Holtmeyer the inside, Frankel goes to the side, and Mark Holtmeyer takes your lead. Dick Crane also jumps away, and Frankel going to take it on in the pits. Holtmeyer, Crane, Dyke, there's your new leader. Ryan Fergie also fell as well, and Frankel a puff of smoke back there in the chute leading into the pits. Mark Holtmeyer takes advantage and takes the lead, but here comes Dick Crane right on his tail. White flag lap. Holtmeyer going to try to hold off Crane. Crane cuts down to the inside on 1. Holtmeyer keeping it to the outside. Holtmeyer jumps back in front. There's Crane right behind him coming into 3. Going into turn number 4, and your winner is going to be Mark Holtmeyer with Dick Crane right behind him. Mike Dyke takes third. And the winner is Mark Holtmeyer, whose sponsors include Big A Auto Parts, Spring Street Automotive, Reed State Street Shell, Moore's Floors, Auto Glass, and Signs in Time. And he had a fan who came up here and was a winner. And just maybe that was a little good luck for your heat race winner, Mark Holtmeyer. And here's the modifieds. Jamie Wilson and Jason Krigbaum on row 1. Mark Van Winkle and Mike Bowen on row 2. Jim Brown and Mike Bratton on row 3. Randy Uppinghouse and John Hamilton on row 4. And Ronnie Goff all by himself on row number 5. And going to get them all lined up properly and we get ready to run our heat race. First heat race of the night for the modifieds. And coming around the 4th turn, it's Wilson and Krigbaum out front. And Jason Krigbaum is your leader early on. Mike Bowen gets a little 2 to the high side and still running, but falls to the back. Krigbaum goes way high. Wilson goes to the side, and Mark Van Winkle shoots ahead of all of them, as does Mike Bratton, to take advantage of something that happened in turn 4. So Mark Van Winkle's now your leader, with Mike Bratton in 2nd, Jamie Wilson in 3rd. Wilson now going to get passed by Jim Brown, it looks like, as he takes over the 3rd spot. Mark Van Winkle, the leader, and he got to the high side, but he hangs on. Bratton in second and Brown in third. John Hamilton now slowing in the backstretch. Wilson goes to the side, and everybody keeps going with the exception of Jamie Wilson, who gets a back quarter panel torn off. And the yellow's going to come out. Ricky Williams, go to the pit area, please. Ricky Williams, go to the pit area right now, please. And coming around turn number 4, Mark Van Winkle leading the rest of the pack. Mike Bratton trying to make a move. Crick Bomb getting passed by Brown and Uppinghouse. John Hamilton trying to get around as well. But Mark Van Winkle is still your leader. He gets to the high side though in turn 2, and Mike Bratton takes advantage to take the lead. Now maybe Van Winkle can get it back. Bratton leading Van Winkle right now. A little bit of close racing between Goff and Crick Bomb right now. Mike Bratton, Mark Van Winkle, and Jim Brown are your front 3. Everybody liking the high side now. Randy Uppinghouse liked it a little too much and went over the side. And he's still running. You still see the top of the car making his way, taking the scenic route of Quincy Raceways. Jason Crickbaum loses it to the inside, and he has stopped. And the yellow is out. Should get the green this time around as they enter turn 3. Mike Bratton with your leader. And here we go. They're going to get it. Bratton, Van Winkle, and Brown are the front 3. 6 laps going to be complete after this one's done. Bratton widening things out over Van Winkle a bit. Mark getting a little closer. Well, no, he's just sort of maintaining the pace as Bratton hangs on. Bratton, Van Winkle, Brown. Goff trying a brief challenge, but Jim Brown holds him off. Trying again, Jim Brown maintaining that 3rd position. Bratton, though, slows. Van Winkle gets around him. Brown turns into Hamilton. Goff takes the 3rd spot. Mark Van Winkle regains the lead. And Jim Brown is going to watch this one from turn number 1. Van Winkle, Bratton, and Goff now are your front 3. And the guys are a little wild tonight, it looks like. Van Winkle gets the white flag. Bratton going to try to hold off Goff. Brown, just a spectator right now. But Van Winkle gets too far high. Goff gets around Bratton now. So Ronnie Goff's the leader. Van Winkle back on the track. Van Winkle in the 3rd position. And coming around to take the checkers, Ronnie Goff with Mike Bratton in 2nd. And Mark Van Winkle holding on to 3rd. Quite a few lead changes in that one. 5 cars left out of the 9 that started. A wild and woolly race. And here comes your heat race winner, Ronnie Goff out of Perry, Missouri. Sponsors include Golf Fertilizer Incorporated, TNR Auto Repair, Johnson's Racing Fuels, Murphy Motor Service, and RaceMart. As Ronnie Golf picks up the heat race win. Now it's time for another group of modifieds to come out. It's like Mary Kay Allen and Gary Wilson out on the front row. Jeff Wagner, Terry Myers, and the rest of the bunch coming out. Gary Wilson on the front along with Mary Kay Allen, and they're going to get the green. Wagner, Myers, Lohmeyer. Also in there, it looks like Hank DeLonge, Denny Woodworth, Mike Karhoff, and Bob Crump. But Gary Wilson takes the lead. Away from the rest of the pack, DeLonge with a move to the outside. He's going to shoot for the second position, and DeLonge drives into the second spot. Gary Wilson, your leader. Mary Kay Allen takes it right back, though. Mary Kay Allen back in second. DeLonge taking it right back, though. DeLonge is your new second place car. Jeff Wagner now trying to get around Allen as well. As she slows on the inside, Jeff Wagner jumps into the third spot. But in the meantime, Gary Wilson's taking a huge lead over the second place car. And DeLonge and Jeff Wagner are going to battle a little bit for that second spot. Wagner and DeLonge, and Wagner goes to the side, and Wagner parks it between 1 and 2. Gary Wilson and the yellow's going to come out. So Gary Wilson's your leader. Jeff Wagner's going to have to get set back in the pack. Turn number 3, here they come. And they get the green with DeLonge right on the backside of Wilson. And Wilson, Mary Kay Allen goes to the side. And the yellow's out again, didn't even get the lap in. And the Mary Kay Allen car goes off, apparently with a flat tire. Richie Uppinghouse and Gwen Harbaugh. You need to go to the concession stand right now, please. It is important. Richie Uppinghouse and Gwen Harbaugh. And the heat race has started again with Wilson still out in front, DeLonge still pressuring. Timmy Lohmeyer's in third and Terry Myers in fourth with Denny Woodworth pressuring. Wilson's your leader. Wilson, also DeLonge, and then the rest of the pack. Lohmeyer still holding on to the third spot. DeLonge right on the backside. Here comes Terry Myers making his way around. Trying to get past Tim Lohmeyer. Karhoff also getting past Denny Woodward. Terry Myers gets around Tim Lohmeyer. Karhoff trying to follow Myers around as well. Meanwhile, Wilson and DeLonge still 1 and 2. All the action seems to be back in the fight for third. Here comes Mike Karhoff. And really close between Crump and Lohmeyer. Meanwhile, Wilson still leads DeLonge. Karhoff right on the backside of Myers. And Crump goes hard into the back wall as Bob Crump hits the back wall. He went flying over the backstretch and nailed it. So the yellow flag will come out for the number 40 car, Bob Crump of Peoria. The yellow light is off, and they're going to get the green coming around this time with Gary Wilson still leading the pack. Wilson, DeLonge, and Myers. Here we go, coming around. DeLonge getting pressure from Myers and Karhoff right now. Well, he loses them in the backstretch. Karhoff now trying to push on Myers for that third spot. And Karhoff looks like he's got him. Wilson, DeLonge, and Karhoff here front three. And Gary Wilson's going to get the white flag. DeLonge in second, Karhoff in third. Lohmeyer still battling with Wagner and Woodward. And Wagner parks it on turn number 1. And coming around is Gary Wilson, who takes the win. DeLonge in second, Karhoff in third. So Gary Wilson gets the win. And Gary Wilson coming around. He's your winner. Driver out of Bowling Green. Sponsors include Mike's Tire Service, Speed World at Ellsbury, Woods Smoked Meats, Night Equipment, Best Buy Home Care, Crossroads Liquor, Gilbert's Garage, and Marvin's Garage. Those are the sponsors. That's Gary Wilson.
And we're going to bring our modified B drivers out now. Number 63, Randy Uppinghouse. He's going to be sitting on the pole tonight with the number 5 car of Chuck Carter. Back on row 2, the number 05, Lonnie Carter. And the number 19 of Lowell Short. And back on row 3 by himself, number 22 car, Jim Henry. Five drivers tonight in our modified B hot lap, no heat race. And these drivers are going to get 10 laps. Lining them up just a little bit closer, and as they come out of turn 4, they're going to get the green. Bingo, they get the green, taking the lead right away. The number 5 car of Chuck Carter, as he presses his way into turn 1, he's going to take the middle groove as he heads around out of turns 1 and 2 and gets a little bit loose. He's going to let Uppinghouse slack up a little bit here too. Going into turn 3, Chuck Carter with a nice little lead, but Lowell Short moving his way on up, and he's going to challenge the 63 of Randy Uppinghouse, and they bump a little bit there. Chuck Carter's still your leader. Lonnie Carter looks like he's going to try to slide around the Lowell Short cars and come out of 2, but Lowell Short gets a little bit low, and he gets around the 63 of Randy Uppinghouse as they head back into turns 3 and 4. Once again, Chuck Carter still your leader, and Lonnie Carter going all the way around, and he's still moving. Yes, he is, and he's going to keep her up, and he's going to be back in the track. Number 5 Carter, number 5 car of Chuck Carter is your leader, though. Number 19 of Lowell Short moving his way up to the 2nd spot, and Randy Eppinghaus in 3rd. Coming out of turn 4, Chuck Carter, Lowell Short, and Randy Eppinghaus. Lowell Short now taking the low groove once again. He's going to try to set his sights on getting around the number 5 of Chuck Carter as they come around turn 4, but Carter has a nice lead over the rest of them. Randy Eppinghaus seeming to move up just a little bit as he shows his aggression towards the 19 of Lowell Short on turn 2. Chuck Carter with a very nice lead over Lowell Short as they head back into turns 3 and 4, but Carter going to get slowed down by that nice little bump, and whoa, there he goes. Randy Eppinghaus over the top of turn 3, and he's going to sit there for a second in a cloud of dust. And we'll have to see what happens. Yellow light coming out. Well, this has been a very bizarre evening tonight. Several drivers. It must be the weekend, I guess. Anyway, Randy Eppinghaus over the top of turn 3. And he's got it moving once again. He's going to bring it back up onto the track, and he's going to continue this race. And now as they come out of turn 4, they're going to get green one more time. Chuck Carter, your leader. Lowell Short and Lonnie Carter. And they go back into turn 1. Chuck Carter pulling away from the rest of the crowd as he goes down into turn 3. And coming out of 4, Chuck Carter still your leader. Lowell Short, Lonnie, and it looks like Randy Eppinghaus and the 22 car of Jim Henry bang into each other, and that's going to leave Jim Henry sitting still over on turn 4. They drop the yellow. Driver is going to make their way into turns 3 and 4 one more time, and they're going to get the green. And they get the green. Lonnie Carter going to take the inside. He's going to try to shoot around the number 19 of Lowell Short by taking the inside, and they bump a little bit, and that's going to force Lowell Short up high and let Randy Eppinghaus make his way on around Lowell Short as they go down the backstretch coming out of turn 2. Chuck Carter still your leader with a nice lead, and Lonnie Carter, his dad, coming up and around, and he's going to put some pressure on his son Chuck as they head back into turns 1 and 2. Randy Eppinghaus biting at the rear end of Lonnie Carter as they go into turns 1 and 2. Chuck Carter with a nice lead over the rest of the track. Lowell Short now leaving the track as he may have experienced some motor problems. Chuck Carter, though, with the nice lead. 6 laps down, 10 laps in this race, 4 more to go as these drivers, Chuck Carter getting a little bit slippery out there as they come around out of turns 3 and 4. Once again, coming out of turns 3 and 4, Chuck Carter, Lonnie Carter, and Randy Eppinghaus. Whole lot of shaking going on. Randy Eppinghaus Jr., Lonnie Carter, and Chuck Carter. Last lap for these drivers as they come around the last quarter of this lap, and Chuck Carter getting the white flag. Last lap for these drivers as they make their way back on around the track one more time. And here they come again. Chuck Carter, he's your winner tonight in this modified B race. Lonnie Carter and Randy Eppinghaus Jr. So Chuck Carter comes away with tonight's modified B race win as he makes his way slowly but faithfully around the track in front of the grandstand. Chuck Carter making away with his win tonight, and Some of his sponsors include Ron's Tire Service, Vance Chiropractic Clinic, Firehouse Tavern, Leeson International, and Mall Car Shop, Chuck's Auto Center, and Arnold Heating and Air Conditioning.
Okay, here comes Speedo again. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your 66 car of Gary Wilson. He's going to be your pole sitter tonight, and the 24 car of Mark Van Winkle is going to be sitting on the outside of row 1. Back on row 2, the number 60 car of Mike Bowen, and the 28 car of Terry Myers. Back on row 3, the 83 of Jim Brown, and the 27 car of Timmy Lohmeyer. And row 4, the number 99 car of Mike Bratton, and the 35 of Hank DeLange. Row 5, we have the number 4 car of Michael Karhoff and the number 6 car of John Hamilton from Peoria, Illinois. Row 6, we have the 45 of Denny Woodworth and the 62 car of Ronnie Goff. And row 7, the 23 of Jeff Wagner and the 40 of Robert Crump. Back on row 8, the number 26 car of Randy Eppinghaus and the 11 of Jason Krigbaum from Handle, Missouri. And back on row 9, the 56 of Jamie Wilson and the 15 car of Mary Kay Allen. 18 cars, 25 laps in this June 27th modified feature. $17 cars to start this one off, as the 40 of Bob Crump is a no-show. Looks like we got everything ironed out between 1 and 2. Should be a great race tonight. $17 cars going for 25 laps in our modified feature event. And Gary Wilson and Mark Van Winkle leading the pack as we go into turn number 3. Get ready for our 25-lap feature event. And they get the green. Wilson and Van Winkle leading the pack. Wilson and Van Winkle a little bumping and grinding into turn 2. Flying down the backstretch. Terry Myers gets ahead of Mark Van Winkle for second. Jim Brown in fourth. Here comes Hank DeLange taking fifth. Gary Wilson out in front. Wilson, Myers, Van Winkle, and Brown leading the pack. Bratton and Bowen bump. Garhoff and DeLange side by side battling for the 5th position in the back stretch. Little bump between the two. And Garhoff has a flat tire. Mike Garhoff a flat right rear tire, and he goes to the side. He stops, as does Randy Uppinghouse, and well as John Hamilton getting around. So Mike Karhoff will go off the track now. So Karhoff is back on the track. The 62 car of Ronnie Goff is off the track. And here we go with Gary Wilson in the lead. Here comes Van Winkle and Myers trying to pressure Gary Wilson. Van Winkle and Myers, there goes the Karhoff car up on the front wall and over the top. The Mike Karhoff car spins to the front row. And please, keep back from the fence, ladies and gentlemen. Stay back. Give Mike a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. He's out of the car and his helmet off. Everybody, please come back to your seats and get away from the track, please. Right now, please get back and go back to your seats. Everybody a big hand for Mike. He appears to be okay. Gonna have to give him a once-over, though. Gary Wilson of Bowling Green, Missouri is your leader. Terry Myers of Quincy second. Mark Van Winkle of New London, Missouri in third. And coming this time around, they're going to get the green. Myers tries the high side to get around Gary Wilson, but Wilson hangs on to the lead. Van Winkle dips low to try to get around Terry Myers. Hank DeLonge doing his best to get around the 83 of Jim Brown. Turn number 2, though, it's the 6 car of John Hamilton, which is going the wrong way, and we didn't get that one done. Gary Wilson, Terry Myers, Mark Van Winkle are your front 3. And here we go. '66 of Gary Wilson, still your leader. Terry Myers and Mark Van Winkle right behind. Wilson, Myers, Van Winkle, Brown, and the bunch. Denny Woodworth has made some gains. Uppinghouse goes to the side. And Randy Eppinghaus stops, and we've got a caution. Yellow lights off. We should get the green this time around. And we do, and Gary Wilson still has the lead. Sparks fly as the 15 car of Allen kisses the wall. Gary Wilson, Terry Myers, and Mark Van Winkle, who slows and goes to the inside suddenly, but maintains his third position. DeLonge slides to the back a bit as Brown holds him off. Woodworth and DeLonge in a battle for the 5th position. And DeLonge gets around Woodworth. Gary Wilson with a big lead now. Myers in second, Van Winkle in third. Here comes Brown and DeLonge, and Brown and DeLonge bump a bit. But DeLonge maintains the best of it while Brown falls back. Brown falls back while DeLonge and Woodworth battle for the 4th spot. Mary Kay Allen leaves the track. Wilson still with that big lead. Our real battles between DeLonge and Woodworth for the 4th spot. DeLonge hanging on. Woodworth back and forth. Great battle for that 4th position. Van Winkle and Myers bump between 1 and 2. Myers hangs on. Woodworth creeps up to join that battle now after getting around DeLonge. Myers, Van Winkle, and Woodworth, and still in that order. Woodworth tries the low side. Myers, Van Winkle, Woodworth. Woodworth now trying to get around Van Winkle as those two cars get side by side. DeLonge now joins the bunch, but Terry Myers hanging on to second as 2 through 5 are in a straight line. Now Van Winkle cuts low to try to get around. Drifts back up high. Here comes Denny Woodworth in an effort to take over second. He takes it. DeLonge goes into the wall. And the red comes out. So in that battle for second spot between Van Winkle, Woodworth, and DeLonge, DeLonge comes out the loser and rams the wall. People, stay away from the fence, please. Unless you're a member of Hank DeLonge's crew or one of our safety people, please get back from the fence. Ladies and gentlemen, the leader of this race, Gary Wilson, has a flat tire as well. And if he changes it, he goes to the back. Tough break for Gary Wilson. Gary Wilson goes in the pits. Lights off this time. Terry Myers is your leader. And we're going to get the green with Terry Myers, Denny Woodworth, and Mark Van Winkle. Myers drifts high, and Denny Woodworth takes the lead. Gary Wilson kisses the wall. Woodworth and Myers with Van Winkle now moving into second. Mark Van Winkle gets in front of Terry Myers to take second. But Denny Woodworth is your leader. Denny Woodworth, Mark Van Winkle, and Terry Myers are the front three. Woodworth, Van Winkle, Myers, Wagner making an effort. Denny Woodworth with a big lead right now over Mark Van Winkle. Denny Woodworth, Mark Van Winkle, and Jeff Wagner has gotten around Terry Myers. That's Bratton and Brown. Off the lap down. Wilson, Lohmeyer, Bowen, Wilson. That's Gary Wilson. Denny Woodworth picking up a big lead right now. And the caution comes out, and Timmy Lohmeyer stopped on the backstretch. Wagner. '62 car, Ronnie Goff makes it back into the pits. Denny Woodworth is your leader. Woodworth, Van Winkle, and Wagner. Van Winkle goes to the side and slows up the rest of the field as Woodworth pulls away. Van Winkle slows again, bumps Bratton, goes across the track and slows up that group. Jeff Wagner now making his way through, and he gets around Mark Van Winkle for second. Does Wagner have enough time to catch Woodworth? Wagner gets around Van Winkle for second. Denny Woodworth is going to get the white flag. And ladies and gentlemen, your feature winner is Denny Woodworth. Woodworth, Wagner, and Van Winkle. So Denny Woodworth unofficially taking a big lead in the points by picking up that victory, as the nearest competitors couldn't finish the race. Sponsors include Williams Enterprises, Blix Construction, Moss Enterprises, and Precision Plating. And that's for 24-year-old Denny Woodworth of Ursa. Picking up another win. And Dustin Owlsley is going to get his picture taken with your Bomber feature winner. Big win for Denny. Give it a big wave to everybody. Give him a big hand. You ran a good race. Dustin Al. And the Little Jess Jeep Eagle pace car, the 93 Eagle Talon, leading our late models out tonight. Ralph Hall on the pole, Steve Mast on the outside, Mike Dykes on row 2, along with Mark Holtmeyer, Darren Walker, Ron Jackson on row 3, Gary Wilson, Jim Swank, row 5, Tom Long, Dick Crane, row 5, Terry Gallagher, Mark Bergtorff, row 6, Mike Hoover, Ryan Fergie, row 7, Dale Riddle and Terry Schlippman in 8, and Jason Franklin, Jeff Johnson on row 9. Now these guys are going to come around and they're going to put on a good show for you, so give them a great big wave and tell them how much you appreciate them running for you tonight here at Quincy Raceways. Getting the lineup all straightened out here. And the light is dropped. We'll have a green flag up in a minute. And we're going to get the green with Mast and Hall on the front row. And Steve Mast. Coming around turn number 4, Steve Mast is your leader. Mark Holtmeyer jumps into second. Mark Holtmeyer, Ralph Hall, then it's Ron Jackson, Mike Dyke, and the rest of the bunch. But Steve Mast is your leader. Walker drifts high but stays away from the wall. Ron Jackson, the Iowa driver, making his way up into the pack. He's in third now, behind Holtmeyer, who is behind Steve Mast. Jim Swank making his way up through the field as well. He's now in the 5th position. Mast, Holtmeyer, and Jackson. Dyke coming around the corner as well. Over the top is Jason Frankel in turn 4, and he's back on the track. Mast, Holtmeyer, and Jackson, and the rest of the gang coming around. Crane and Hall converge to cut off Darren Walker. Mast, Holtmeyer, Jackson, and Swank. Steve Mast, a strong lead right now over the rest of the pack. Mast, Holtmeyer, Jackson, Swank, Crane, and Dyke. Jim Swank in the 4th position now, pressuring Ron Jackson. He's made his way up through the pack. The number 4 of Mike Dyke is off the track. Mast still with a solid lead over Holtmeyer. Mast, Holtmeyer, Jackson, Swank. Here's Dick Crane making his way through the field also. Jim Swank gets around Ron Jackson for the 3rd spot. Steve Mast, Mark Holtmeyer, Jim Swank, Ron Jackson, and Dick Crane are your front 5. Holtmeyer and Swank touch a bit. Mast, Holtmeyer, and Swank, those 3 staying the same. Ron Jackson and Dick Crane are in 4th and 5th. Swank now looking to get past Holtmeyer. Holtmeyer loses it on the top side, and Jim Swank slides into 2nd. He'll set his sights now on the number 19 car of Steve Mast, who has a big lead. But Jim Swank started out in the 8th spot, and he's up to 2nd. And he's slowly but surely making his way through the field. And Jim Swank is getting ever so close to Steve Mast. Mast is in lap traffic. Mast and Riddle bump. But Mast manages to hang on to the lead. Matter of fact, the bump forced Swank to slow down, and Mast kept the lead. But here's Jim Swank once again, but they're into the lap traffic of Tom Long. Jim Swank hot on his tail. And now the 10 car of Mark Holtmeyer has joined in, as has Dick Crane, because lap traffic has slowed the leaders. Steve Mast gets around Tom Long, as does Jim Swank. Steve Mast just can't lose the Hamilton, Illinois driver. Mark Holtmeyer getting around as well. Jim Swank real close to Steve Mast. Holmeyer goes up high. That allows Crane to go past for third and Jackson for fourth. Two Palmyra, Missouri drivers in the top three, and Jim Swank from Hamilton in there at second, as Dick Crane is now up there. The Riddle car in the infield. Here comes Swank and Mast in more lap traffic. Crane's going to jump in now. We've got a three-car race. But Ron Jackson and Mark Holmeyer are not that far off the pace. Here comes Jim Swank, trying to make the move on Mast. Mast goes to the side, but he holds off Swank this time. Dick Crane is even closer. Steve Mast, Jim Swank, and Dick Crane are your front three. Mast stays high, and Swank follows in right behind, as do the rest of the cars. Getting close to the end. The lap car of Jeff Johnson, though, might cause a problem for one of these drivers. Jim Swank behind Mast. Swank trying to go high, trying to get around Mast. Jim Swank doesn't do it this time as Steve Mast holds him off. Jim Swank now on the low side. Jim Swank taking advantage of the lap car to get around Mast. Swank and Mast side by side for the lead on the backstretch. Mast has to back off because of the lap car, and Jim Swank takes the lead. But Mast has the inside position. Mast trying to fight low and get the inside position, but Swank holds him off. Jim Swank is your new leader. Mast falls behind. Here comes Dick Crane, the two Palmyra drivers. Mast goes to the side. Mast goes to the side, and Dick Crane is now in second, and Steve Mast will go to the back. Mast and Crane were battling for the second spot when Mast went to the side and stopped. The 19 and 77 cars are both going to the back. Steve Mast pulls off the track. .26 laps down, and Dick Crane stops along the backstretch. Four laps left in a exciting late model feature. Well, when we resume racing, we'll have 4 laps to go. And Dick Crane's going to take it on in the pits. Here we come. Should get the green this time around, and Jim Swank is your leader with Ron Jackson in second and Mark Holtmeyer in third. Ron Jackson trying to make a move around Jim Swank, and he does. Ron Jackson with a hard move to the outside, the car going side to side, and he kept it going, and he powered around Jim Swank. Just when it looked like Jim Swank was charging hard, and now Jackson and Swank tap, and they are nose and nose as they are going down the front stretch. Ron Jackson suddenly found power and was going even with Swank, tapping and bumping as he made it around the outside, but Jim Swank now has taken that lead back. Now Swank cuts off the high ground, and there's the white flag. The white flag is out for Jim Swank and Ron Jackson. We'll see if Jackson has enough to get around this time. Will he try the high side? Will he dart to the low side? We'll see. We're going to get the checkered flag. Here's Jim Swank and Jackson. It's going to be Jim Swank of Hamilton taking an exciting win with Ron Jackson in second. A fantastic race. Mark Holtmeyer, and it was Aaron Walker in fourth. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the late model feature, Jim Swank. Going to get his picture taken with Shannon Frankel. Jim Swank's sponsors include Ivan Murphy Farms, Walter Newman Race Cars, and Jim picked up a hard-fought win. Speedo out there to help as well. So Jim picks up a win. His second of the season. Get his picture taken with Shannon Frankel as well as with Speedo, it looks like. And
with the number 12 car of Bob Dale. Back on row 2, the 00 car of Dave Moore and the number 9 of Steve McCarley. Row 3, the 61 of Chuck Hall and the number 90 of Dale Hatfield. And on row 4, the number 43 car of Kelly Bartz and the 27 car of Matt Rose. Back on row 5, the 77 car of Bob Hightower and the 17 of Vernon Saxberry. Row 6, the 87 of Sammy Bertorf and the 22 car of Steve Grotz. Row 7, the number 91 car of Virgil Hatfield and the 51 of Harold Ketchum. Behind that, the 18 of Bob Uppinghouse and the 73 of Jeff Klingel. Behind that, number 19 car of Greg Sill and the 66 of Bob Hooper. And last row, the 2 Decker brothers, the number 11 car of Derek Decker and the number 2 of Daryl Decker, as these drivers prepare to race 20 laps, and they get the green. Starting the race off, the number 59 car of Danny Geeker pulls away into the lead with the number 12 of Bob Dale and the 00 car of David Moore as they head back into turns 3 and 4. Danny Geeker taking the high side, which is going to bring Bob Dale up a little closer, and they come out of 4, and the lineup still looks the same in the front row. Danny Geeker holding down the lead with the number 12 of Bob Dale, then the 00 car of David Moore, the 90 of Dale Hatfield, the 27 of Matt Rose, and the number 9 car, and looks like the number 17 car of Vernon Saxberry going around, and that's going to bring him back a couple spots. Number 17 car of Vernon Saxberry experiencing the pleasure of a flat tire as he comes around out of turn 4, running his rim on the track. Number 9 car of Steve McCarley holding off the 66 of Bob Hooper as they come into turns 3 and 4 one more time. Kelly Bart's experiencing some problems as he comes out of turn 4. He seems to have a flat tire as well. But Danny Geeker still holding down the lead with the number 00 of David Moore going to cut on the inside, and he's going to try to make his way around the number 59 of Danny Geeker, and they bump. And that's going to send David Moore a little bit into the infield, and he's going to lose a couple spots to some of those drivers out there. Bob Dale moving his way back up to the second spot. Dale Hatfield in third, and David Moore holding down the fourth position. And Bob Dale and Danny Geeker bumped. 61 car of Chuck Hall and 27 of Matt Rose having problems. But Danny Geeker still holds down the front row, and Bob Dale comes up with the second spot. Dale Hatfield moving his way up around the 00 of David Moore, the 77 of Bob Hightower, the 22 car of Steve Grotz, and the 51 of Harold Ketchum. And it looks like the number 9 car of Steve McCarley with a flat tire as well. And he's having all kinds of problems as he makes his way into turn 1. 59 Danny Geeker still your leader, but the number 90 car of Dale Hatfield now going to try to make his way around the 12 of Bob Dale as they head back into turns 1 and 2. Turn 4, the 73 car of Jeff Klingel smashes the wall, and he's having, he's having experience. Well, he's backing it. There he goes. And this is the way they're going to stack up. The 59 of Danny Geeker, then Bob Dale, Dale Hatfield, Dave Moore, Bob Hightower, Steve Grotz, Harold Ketchum, Sammy Bertorff, Matt Rose, Bob Livinghouse, Greg Sill, Eric Decker, Joe Hooper, Kelly Bartz, and the other two drivers. I can't read it fast enough. Danny Geeker holding down the lead with Bob Dale, and Dale Hatfield trying to make his way around the Bob Dale car as they go down the backstretch and into turns 3 and 4 one more time. Danny Geeker still holding down the lead. Bob Dale and Dale Hatfield, and slowing down, all kinds of problems, banging. Danny Geeker experiencing all kinds of problems as he heads into the outside of turn 1 and brings her to a stop. Vernon Saxbury going a little sideways, and he's going to take her on into the infield. Your new leader is the number 12 car of Bob Dale, and Steve Grotz moving his way on up, and they're going to go red. And they get the green one more time. Bob Dale takes the lead right away. Dave Moore cutting into the inside. He's going to try to make it around a couple drivers as they head into turns 1 and 2. But Bob Dale with a nice lead over the number 90 of Dale Hatfield as they go down the backstretch. Spark and Crumman. Looks like we got a wheel coming off the track. And who did that belong to? And it looks like the number 18 cars who that wheel belonged to. The number 18 of Bob Livinghouse, who's got no front tire as you see him going down the backstretch and into the pit area, into the infield. Bob Dale with a nice lead. Now Dale Hatfield going to take the outside and try to make his way around Mr. Dale as they head into turns 1 and 2 one more time. Cars all bunched up coming out of turn 2, and it's going to be Dale Hatfield and Dave Moore going into turns 3 and 4, trying to make their way around the Bob Dale number 12 car. A little bit of bumping going on out there, and Steve Grotz is challenging the number 87 car as they go into turns 1 and 2. It's Steve Grotz, Harold Ketchum, and Sammy Bertorf going down the backstretch. Steve Grotz holds a position over the 87 of Sam Bertorf as they come into turn 3 and 4. And Dale Hatfield pulling away from the pack. He's your new leader, bringing Bob Hightower along with him as he goes into turns 1 and 2 once again. Hightower sandwiched in between the two drivers, and it looks like Dale Hatfield's going to be the one to muscle his way out of it, but Hightower's going to take the low side, and Hatfield's going to go high as they come around out of turn 4. It's going to be Bob Hightower who takes over the lead from Dale Hatfield as they head back into turns 1 and 2. Bob Hightower with a nice lead over the 3 abreast drivers, Dale Hatfield, Steve Grotz, and Bob Dale as they go back into turns 1 and 2. One more time, Greg Sill getting a little bit flaunty as he comes out of turn 4, and that's going to slow him down to bring Derek Decker on up. And the 61 of Chuck Hall having all kinds of problems keeping his car in a straight line. Bob Hightower with a nice lead over Steve Grotz and the rest of the pack as they come out of turn 4. Bob Hightower with a nice lead over the 22 car of Steve Grotz. Then we have the 90 of Dale Hatfield, the 00 car of Dave Moore slowing down to Harold Ketchum. Bob Dale trying to hold off the 87 of Sammy Bertorf, and they go into each other a little bit. They're just going to let Sammy Bertorf make his way around now. Matt Rose trying to make his way around the number 12 car of Bob Dale as they go back into turns 3 and 4, and he succeeds in that. Bob Hightower with a beautiful lead over the Steve Grotz car. Dale Hatfield, Dave Moore, Harold Ketchum, and Sammy Bertorf. And the rest of the drivers out there. 77 car of Bob Hightower closing in on the 61 car of Chuck Hall, who's lapped traffic. And the 22G car of Steve Grotz. Dale Hatfield and Harold Ketchum fighting for that position. Dave Moore and Sammy Bertorf and Matt Rose, Bob Hooper, Bob Dale, Kelly Parks, and the rest of the drivers once again. 18 laps down for these drivers as they come around out of turn 4. White flag lap for Bob Hightower. Less than a lap to go for Bob Hightower as he makes his way down the backstretch. Here comes Bob Hightower getting into Chuck Hall, and it's going to be Bob Hightower coming away with the win tonight. Steve Grotz comes the second spot, Dave Moore, Dale Hatfield, Sammy Bertorf, Matt Rose, Bob Hooper, Kelly Parks, Bob Dale, Derek Decker, Greg Sill, and Vernon Saxberry. "28-year-old Bob Hightower from Palmyra, Missouri comes away with tonight's feature win in the Bomber class. He's going to get his picture taken with Sarah Dunn. Sitting on the pole is going to be the number 63 car of Randy Uppinghouse. Next to that, the number 5 car of Chuck Carter. Back on row 2, the 05 of Lonnie Carter and the 19 of Lowell Short, and by himself on row 3, the number 22 of Jim Henry. And they're going to get the green. Chuck Carter going to fight Randy Eppinghaus for the lead as they go back into turn 1. And it's a fight for the first spot as these two drivers make their way down the backstretch. Bumping going on a little bit there, and looks like Eppinghaus going to take the low groove. Chuck Carter going to take the high side, but Eppinghaus gets a little crooked, and Chuck Carter comes away with the lead. Chuck Carter, your leader right now with Randy Eppinghaus, Lowell short of number 05 of Lonnie Carter and the 22 car of Jim Henry. Chuck Carter, your leader. 2 laps down for these drivers. Chuck Carter with a nice lead over the Randy Eppinghaus car. Lowell short and Lonnie Carter fighting for the 3rd spot. Carter getting a little bit sideways, and that's going to bring Eppinghaus up a little closer to these drivers as they make their way back into turn 1 and 2 again. Eppinghaus closing in closer on this number 5 car of Chuck Carter as they make their way around the track. Eppinghaus getting loose in the turns. Chuck Carter, though, with a nice lead over the Eppinghaus car. Lonnie Carter the same way. And the number 19 of Lowell short. 5 laps down off this 12-lap feature for these B-modified drivers. One more time, Chuck Carter holding the lead down. Lonnie Carter making his aggression towards the number 63 of Randy Eppinghaus as they make their way around the track one more time. But Eppinghaus holding his own. Pretty much the same lineup as it was in the beginning. Chuck Carter with the lead. Randy Eppinghaus losing ground, though, to Lonnie Carter as he loses a little bit of traction there, coming around out of turn 4. Chuck Carter, though, still holding down the lead. Randy Eppinghaus, Lonnie Carter, and Lowell short. And Randy Eppinghaus goes over the top. And he's going to bring her back onto the track after he gets done swinging it around. Chuck Carter closing in on the 22 car of Jim Henry as they come out of turn 4. Chuck Carter closing in even more on the 22 car of Jim Henry as they go down the backstretch. Chuck Carter lapping the 22 car of Jim Henry as they come around out of turns 3 and 4. Lonnie Carter holds the 2nd spot, then Lowell short. White flag lap for Chuck Carter. Now Lonnie Carter moving his way on up to challenge his son as they take this last lap on the track, and Chuck getting a little bit loose there. But that's not going to stop anything. Chuck Carter making his way into turns 3 and 4, and Lonnie Carter going way over the top as he comes around. Chuck Carter, though, coming away with tonight's feature win in the B-Modified. So there he is, Chuck Carter, who comes away with tonight's B-Modified feature win, and Sherry Carter is going to get her picture taken with Chuck Carter. Whole lot of Carters out there tonight. 26-year-old Chuck Carter comes from Quincy, Illinois, and some of his sponsors include Ron's Tire Service, Vance Chiropractic Clinic, Firehouse Tavern, Cleason, and a few more here. Chuck's Auto Center and Arnold Heating and Air Conditioning. Chuck Carter, who comes away with tonight's B-Modified feature win, as he waves to his fans. He's going to get his picture taken with Sherry Carter. Once again, we'd like to thank you all for coming on out and sharing your Sunday evening with us. We hope to see you again once again next weekend.